This morning with President Trump on the world stage, set to meet face-to-face with the leader of NATO in just a matter of hours. That meeting coming just days after Elon Musk floated the idea of the United States pulling out of the alliance altogether. NewsNation's Robert Sherman is in D.C. with more this morning. Robert, good morning to you. What should we expect out of this meeting, considering the growing anti-NATO sentiment coming from the White House?
Yeah, good morning to you, Markie. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte will be here in Washington today. The two historically have had a good relationship, going back to when Rutte was the Dutch prime minister during President Trump's last term. But NATO has been a sticking point for the president. He has been clear. He wants NATO countries to pay their fair share, much more than the 2% of GDP commitment they've made. And as the war in Ukraine rages on, the head of NATO has said he's in agreement with the president.
Our mindset has to be that we are willing to protect every inch of NATO territory. If we would stick to the 2%, we cannot defend ourselves in 4 or 5 years. We have to spend more.
But then there's this. Elon Musk, one of the president's top advisors, on the other hand, thinks the U.S. should get out of NATO altogether, floating that idea in response to a tweet from Senator Mike Lee advocating for the U.S. not to fund Europe's defense. The White House declining to get ahead of today's meeting, but the president has said publicly he wants other countries to get to 4 or even 5% of GDP spending on defense. Markie?
And Robert, today's meeting also comes as Russia has reportedly given its list of demands to ending the war with Ukraine, right?
Yeah, that's right, Markie. Reuters reporting that the Russians have provided what they need to see. The specifics not public, but the White House has said everyone, Russia and Ukraine included, is going to have to make some kind of concession, with the president saying the ball is in Russia's court.
People are going to Russia right now as we speak, and hopefully we can get a ceasefire from Russia. And if we do, I think that would be 80% of the way to getting this horrible bloodbath finished.
Those people going to Russia, the president mentioned, include Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. NewsNation has learned his second trip to Russia this year after securing the release of Mark Fogel. The significance of that is we haven't really seen American diplomats having direct face-to-face conversations with the Russians since the start of the war in Ukraine, until this administration took office. Markie?
Yeah, we'll see if they say yes to this deal, and if so, how they use that 30 days. Robert Sherman live from D.C. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.